What is up, my friends? It's so good to be back. The NBA All-Star break is over. Did you guys enjoy the NBA All-Star festivities? I thought it was pretty cool for the most part. The All-Star game itself has kind of become a little bit of a joke. Not very competitive whatsoever. I guess more for entertainment value, but that's a topic for a whole nother different conversation. In today's video, I've got a couple of different PrizePicks plays, and then I'm going to sneak in one bonus pick that was on PrizePicks but has been removed. So maybe you could take it on your favorite sports book or another one of these DFS pick'em apps. But first and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 22,000 subscribers. We might hit it today. Let's see if we can reach that goal of 22,000 or more subs. And I'm also going to set a goal of 199.5 likes or better. Now, I'm going to take the more. I think we could go for 200 or more because I know you guys are amped about the NBA returning just like I am. So I appreciate all your love and support as I continue to pump these videos out for you each and every day. So if you're not playing on PrizePicks, code Curry still getting you that 100% instant deposit match the first time you add any money to your PrizePicks account and you use my code Curry. They're going to match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100. So take advantage. If you're not playing on PrizePicks yet and it's available where you live, I gotta say that because it's starting to become less and less available in different states. But if it's available where you live and you haven't played before, make that first time deposit. Link down in the description of today's video. All right, let's start with the first pick here. Kyrie Irving of the Dallas Mavericks are going to be taking on the Phoenix Suns. This is going to be one of the games that I'm most looking forward to on today's massive NBA slate. Not a whole lot of injury news on the Dallas side. This game does look like it has one of the higher totals at 244 plus points between these two teams, and it looks like it's going to have a pretty tight spread, meaning it should stay close and competitive. Hopefully that's the case. So we're looking at Kyrie Irving for 4.5 rebounds. When we go over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, we scroll down just a little bit here. You can see that he's got about a 53.7% chance of going over 4.5 boards. He's at 4.5 boards on pretty much all the different sports books and sites out there that you can take this player prop. And you're seeing some pretty positive momentum here for the over. Minus 140 betting favorite, minus 133 betting favorite, minus 135 betting favorite, and even as high as a minus 145 betting favorite. So you got to love the odds and the juice on this prop. Now, I mentioned 53.7% chance to hit. Now, I got to say that to say this. 53.7% is not a 100% chance to hit. We are gambling people. There are risks involved in what we do here. So if it doesn't hit, well, that's because there was about a 47% chance of it not hitting, mathematically speaking, based on the odds. So just keep that in mind. Bet responsibly. Don't nuke anything. Usually I bet about 1% of my entire PrizePicks bankroll on each slip, entry, or ticket that I make. So something to kind of keep in mind. Anyway, moving over to Prop.Cash here. Prop.Cash is fantastic. It really lets you see sort of a visual component of how a player's performed on a given player prop line. And in this case, at 4.5 rebounds, Kyrie Irving has done a really solid job this season of going for 5 or more rebounds, a 64% hit rate. And that hit rate shoots all the way up to 87% over his last 15 games. He has just been super solid and consistent at clearing 4.5 rebounds over the last 15. 87% hit rate, 6.3 rebound per game average. And even when Luka Doncic plays, he still has really solid hit rates. With Luka, over the last 15 games, still rocking a 73% hit rate, still rocking a 5.7 rebound per game average. And then when you kind of look at the DVP information on this one, let's call Kyrie Irving the shooting guard since Luka Doncic is kind of your point guard. Well, the Phoenix Suns are giving up over 8 rebounds per game to opposing shooting guards. That's the second highest rebound per game average to the 2-guard spot. Now, I know it's a little controversial. We don't know if Luka's a point guard, a point forward, a shooting guard. I don't know. Whatever you want to call him. We're going to call Kyrie Irving the shooting guard in this case, though. But that is for you to decide. Anyway, let's also take a look at some projections here, starting with Kyrie Irving on Action Labs. Their projection tools have him at 5.3 projected rebounds. Again, projections are just that. It's a projection of how a player might perform, not a guarantee. I want to keep reiterating that because a lot of y'all get salty when stuff doesn't hit, as if we have any control over the outcome once the game starts. We don't, all right? These players got to go out and play the projections and all that other fun stuff. It's good to look at for research purposes, but definitely not a guarantee or an indicator that it's going to happen for sure. But let's look at a second projection. 5.71 projected rebounds for Kyrie Irving against Phoenix tonight. That puts him well over 5 boards. We need 5 or more out of Kyrie, so hopefully he gets it done like the projection models are projecting him to do, right? So for me, Kyrie Irving would be a more play at 4.5 rebounds. Now this next one might give some of y'all the ick. It might scare some of you, but we're going to take a look at the numbers, and we do research behind all these picks. And so if you disagree with it, if it makes you feel some type of way, well, then don't take it, okay? Don't take it if you're scared. But Nikola Jokic is going up against the Washington Wizards. This game has a 15-point spread. So you want to talk about major blowout risk? Blowout alert on this game. Denver's expected to beat the brakes off of the Washington Wizards. It is what it is. So 37.5 points and assists for Nikola Jokic. We're going to go over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Now, this one is considered technically to be a plus EV play, a positive expected value play. For the under, yes, for the under. I know it's never comfortable taking the under on a superstar, somebody of Nikola Jokic's caliber, but hey, we're riding with the data here. 51.8% chance. So that's a far cry, again, from a 100% chance. In fact, there's a 48 to 49% chance that maybe he goes over 37.5 points and assists based on the odds and the numbers and the information that we're looking at here. But nonetheless, the under looking like the way to go. And then you take a look at the sports books here. FanDuel's lines makers have him at 36.5. So does DraftKings. So does Caesars, which means they're lines makers who are pretty good at their job, right? They want to try to make their employers money. They want to make FanDuel more money, DraftKings more money, Caesars more money, right? They think that Nikola Jokic is going to land on 36 to 37 points and assists tonight. Now, 36 or 37 is less than 37.5. So again, this is why we're thinking about taking the under on Joker. Now we go over here, we take a look at the game logs. Games played with Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, all 4 who are expected to play tonight alongside of Jokic. In those games, 32 of them to be exact, Jokic has only gone over 37.5 points and assists in 31% of those games. He's averaging 34.3 points and assists alongside of Murray, Gordon, Porter Jr., and KCP. So more often than not, he is staying under. 69% hit rate at going under 37.5 points and assists. You want to take a look at the games in which he has played on the road or at home? We can do that. Let's look at the home game because he's going to be playing at home tonight. At home, 5 out of 16 times he has gone over, which means most of the time he goes under here. Again, a 69% hit rate of him staying under 37.5 points and assists when playing at home in front of the Denver Nuggets crowd. That's a 33.1 PA average. Now, one other thing that I want to take a look at here is games in which he has played where the Denver Nuggets have won by 10 plus. He stays under at a pretty nice clip here. 56% of the time, he stays under 37.5 points and assists, averaging just 31.8 PA in those games. Now, things get even spicier, juicier, and more attractive when the Denver Nuggets win by 15 plus. Games in which they have won by 15 plus, Jokic has never went over 37.5 points and assists, scoring 33, 37, 15, 19, and 20 PA, Nikola Jokic. So hopefully it's a 15-plus point blowout like the spread would suggest. If that's the case, well, we like what we're seeing here. We're just looking at the numbers, looking at the data. We're not trying to predict the future. We're looking at the past to help us guide our more or less decision for tonight's pick. So there's all the data for you behind the pick. Let's get you some projections here. We're going to go back over to RotoWire. They've got Nikola Jokic points and assists. You can see a bunch of red here. According to this RotoWire PrizePicks tool, leaning less, right? 37.5 points and assists. Everything's red. The hit rates are red. The projections are red. The pick'em sites are red. The sports books are red. So they say you should be leaning toward the under on Nikola Jokic at 36.29 projected points and assists. So he's just a tad bit too high at 37.5. Now, second projection here. We're going to go over to Action Labs and their projection tools, because every projection model is just slightly different from one model to the next. So I like to reference as many different projection models as I can when I can. Now he's at 36.4 projected points and assists on this projection model, which is Fantasy Labs, Action Labs. And so again, that puts him at under 37.5. We're looking for 37 or less in this matchup against the Washington Wizards. So that would be a less play for me on Nikola Jokic. Again, if you feel uncomfortable with it, you can either flex it, take it and flex it, put it in a flex play on PrizePicks, or just don't take it at all. I'm not forcing you to do anything, all right? You just do what you feel comfortable with. Now, as I mentioned, I got a bonus pick for you. This guy was up on the PrizePicks board, but of course, PrizePicks, they be bumping up, they be bumping down, and they be removing. And in this case, they did absolutely remove this one from the board. I was looking at Kelly Olynyk for less than 3.5 assists. So if you have another app at your disposal or a sports book at your disposal, take a look at this one. Kelly Olynyk at 3.5 assists today on most sites, most apps. He has gone under in all 3 games in which he has appeared for the Toronto Raptors. I know it's a small sample size, but we expect Pirtle, Quickly, Gary Trent Jr., RJ Barrett, Bruce Brown, Grady Dick, and all those boys to be playing tonight, all right? And if they play tonight, that's probably going to mean less playing time for Kelly Olynyk. In the games in which he's had 3 assists and 2 assists, the only reason he had 3 assists and 2 assists is because his minutes were elevated due to a blowout. And in this case, this game tonight against the Brooklyn Nets is not expected to be a blowout. It's expected to stay close and competitive. It's just a 2-point spread. And so if the trend continues here and this game does stay close and competitive, then Olynyk should be seeing less or fewer minutes than he typically would. If you take a look at the games in which they got blown out, 22 minutes played, 21 minutes played. I don't know if you guys can see this here. I'll put it right underneath my window here. 22.3 minutes played in a blowout against Cleveland, 21 minutes played against the San Antonio Spurs in a blowout. But this game stayed close and competitive against Indiana. He only played 7.2 minutes in that game. So hopefully that's a trend of things to come. If this game stays close and competitive, hopefully it's more Jakob Poeltl and less Kelly Olynyk. But things are looking pretty good here. He's 0 for 3 at going over 3.5 assists. So that means he's 3 for 3 at staying under 3.5 assists, which is good news for us. Now, as far as our projection goes on this one, we're going to take a look at the projection provided by Fantasy Labs and Action Labs. They've got him projected at 2.9 assists. And we're going to go over to another tool here, which is EV Analytics. Another one of these tools that I like to use that has some fantastic projections. And you can see that their projection on Kelly Olynyk's assists today are just 3.3, putting him under that 3.5 marker. So if you can find this Kelly Olynyk play out on one of your favorite sports betting apps or DFS pick'em apps, then consider taking that one. We'll call that a bonus play. It's no longer available on PrizePicks, which means maybe it's a good pick. Maybe they knew it was a good pick too and decided to remove it for whatever reason. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well. Good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays. Like I said, you probably want to ease back into the NBA. Don't go crazy. I know today's a big slate. A lot of people are going to be tempted to just drop all their money on today's slate, but a lot of changes, a lot of shakeups happening around the association. Let's give it a few days, maybe even a week, and then we can really start to ramp up our bets, increase our unit sizes, and start really attacking the NBA season as the playoffs approach. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Good luck, and we'll catch you in the very next video. Peace.